Hello everybody, welcome back to Building My Dream Zoo in Minecraft. I am so excited to be back, and I want to thank you guys so much for the response to my zoo tour last episode. That was so much fun to make, and I'm just so overwhelmed by the amount of views that it's gotten. So just thank you. Now this episode, my main thing is that I want to work on a new habitat, which I've kind of laid out the basic shape I'm thinking of right here. Obviously right now it's pretty messy, it's not done at all, but this is kind of the amount of space I'm going to have for it. Now my thoughts for this episode is I want to add the tapirs that I found recently, I believe actually last episode. So I'm going to do some planning and figure out what I want to do to actually design the habitat. So I'm going to work on that and collect all the stuff, and then I'm hoping to do like a time lapse for that. So that should be pretty fun. But as you can see, I do have a name tag in my hotbar here, and that's actually going to be for one of our bears. We're going to name one of them Brownie. So this name was suggested to us by Prehistoric Dinosaur Lover. So thank you so much for this name suggestion. Now I'm looking at these bears. Obviously they're both brown bears because they're both grizzlies. I think this one looks more like a brownie color, so I think I'm going to name this one Brownie. But if you would rather me have done the other one, I can change it. But I only have one name so far, so we're going to name this one Brownie. And hopefully soon we can have a name for this one and basically all the other animals in the park, because I haven't named most of them yet. So I apologize, I'm pretty bad at names. But I am happy to have this one here, Brownie, so that's super exciting. Thank you again. Alright, so I think I'm ready to get started building this habitat. I've got 3 shulkers here, our regular chisel one, this one that's full of a whole bunch of stuff, and then this one has a bit of extra that I think we might use too. And we got obviously the enrichment, our tunneling stuff. So yeah, the basic idea I want to go with is have some sort of like watering hole, like mini river somewhere in the back here. And then the rest of it I'm going to try to make look like a mini forest. I know the habitat isn't huge, so I can't fit that many trees probably. But what I might do, because with chisel and bits you can make the trees a little bit skinnier, so I might try to do that so that we can have them like denser but not fill up the space completely with full blocks. But I'm going to try it out and see. But what I'm really excited about is I've decided to use the replay mod for this. So we're going to do a time lapse with that, and then over top of that I'm going to give you the animal facts that I found about our tapirs. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you when the habitat's done. Alright, we're going to get right into the animal facts here about our Brazilian tapirs. But I actually recorded this replay before I recorded this audio, so let me just say that I'm really happy with how it turned out, so I hope you guys like it. But I am also excited about these really cute guys here, and I even have a few pictures that I want to share with you guys of some real tapirs because they're just adorable. Now in the Zawa mod, these are called Brazilian tapirs, but they actually have quite a few names. They can be called the Amazonian tapir, Maine tapir, lowland tapir, or even South American tapir. And that is just for this species of tapir. There are 4 other species that have different names as well. And despite the Brazilian tapir being the smallest species, they actually average around 500 pounds or 225 kilograms. So they still are not small, and they stand about 3 feet tall, give or take. Now most of the facts that I was able to find were about tapirs in general and not just this specific species, because they are pretty similar. And unfortunately all 4 species are quite endangered, although one thing I did find is that this one is the least endangered of them all. And thankfully there are conservation efforts being made for all of these species, so I'm hoping for a recovery for all of them, but obviously it is quite sad that they are endangered to begin with. And of course that is due to poaching and habitat loss, like so many other species in the world. But it's not all sad stuff, so let's talk about what makes these guys unique. So one of my favorite things about tapirs is when they're born, they are just so adorable. So they're usually born more brown with little white spots all over them. I definitely have pictures of these guys, don't you worry. But the interesting thing is that when they get older, they turn a little bit darker and they lose the spots altogether and just become one solid color. And of course, as soon as you see these guys, I'm sure you noticed their long, big nose, right? That is pretty much their most defining feature, and it's pretty different from most animals. I'd say it kind of looks slightly like an anteater, but they're not really that closely related to them. I actually looked this up because I was curious, and anteaters are related to sloths closest, and the tapirs are actually in the ungulate group, so basically they're grouped with zebras, rhinoceros, and animals like that. And what also surprised me is that in Zawa they use the pachyderm kibble instead of like the ungulate kibble like a zebra would. And I always associated pachyderm with just elephants, but apparently it's elephants, rhinoceros, hippopotamus, and thick-skinned animals like that. So maybe it's close enough to a tapir, I'm not sure, but that's what the mod uses. And I don't think I actually mentioned why I added water to their habitat, or if I did, I didn't go into detail for sure. But tapirs are extremely good swimmers. And so they are very quick swimmers, and I think they can hold their breath for pretty long, and they're just able to maneuver in water and even eat aquatic plant life sometimes. However, unlike a lot of animals that are fast swimmers, even when they come on land, they are still very quick and they're agile, so they can evade predators both in the water and outside. And I didn't see any indication of this, but perhaps that's what makes them live so long. They can live from 25 to 30 years in the wild. Now, that could be for completely different reasons, I'm not sure, but I think it's really cool that they do live that long. That is all the facts that I found for these guys, but I did want to show you one more picture, is a regular colored tapir next to one that's albino, and I just thought that was so cool. But I hope you love these animals just as much as I do, and I hope you enjoyed this habitat that I built for them. There's just a little bit more to go on the time-lapse, so I'm just going to play you guys some music for the rest of it. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed me building this habitat. There might be a few things I change, like this back here. I think I might add a little bit taller, just because it looks a little bit weird right now, I think. Especially like this abrupt here, and then that's 2 blocks over there. But overall I think this is pretty cool. It's kind of jungly, but like the edge of a little pond, or could be a river maybe. But whatever, it works as like a water source for them, and a little cave. Maybe not the best cave, but I had to make sure that they can't get out, which I'm actually not sure because I can jump up this. But it seems like it should be taller than a block, because this is like at least 80% of a block, and this is half a block here. So yeah, I'm not sure why I can jump up there, so I'm gonna have to be really careful with our animal friends. But yeah, we're about ready to put them in here. I actually did forget to grab the book for them, so I want to check if they're male or female. But I think that's back in my house, so I will be right back with that. Alright, so we're going to try it with just one of these guys first. Okay, this one is a female. We're going to see if we can tame her. Oh, yes, okay. Oh, she is super cute. I'm actually glad. I was going to make the little cave a little bit shorter, but these guys are actually bigger than I remember. And I actually forgot to grab them food as well. That's the other thing. So let's see. Oh yeah, okay, so they can take any of these, and oh, I do have some leaves actually. That's what I was going to do. So Just give them some leaves. They don't really show up perfectly, but we'll get them some fruit as well. So usually if they can find like a way to get out, they will kind of try to pathfind immediately, and it doesn't look like she is. So let's try to put a second one in here, and I'll watch them for a bit and make sure they can't get out. Ooh, what a pretty color. Okay, we've got another girl. Oh, she's trying. Okay, so it might be an issue. She doesn't seem to be able to get out right now. I'll try to knock her a little bit over this way. Are you able to get up? Because I think it's just this corner. If that's a problem, it'll be right there. She's trying. So far not able to. Okay. Oh, she tamed in one. Wow. Okay. And then maybe once they're tamed, they don't try to escape as much. I don't know. Actually, let's make sure that they're set to wander as well. Okay, so I have one more. I hope this habitat doesn't seem too crowded with 3. Oh, they're all female. Okay. Oh, they're all trying to get out. Alright, so I will have to try to find a male, I think, eventually. But all 3 of them were tamed. Let's see. I can click on you. Are you stuck in this little bush here? Alright, set to wander. Alright. So it does seem like they can't get out, which is very good. And I'm really glad that the wood type that's in the back is actually pretty contrast to what they look like. So that way they're pretty easy to spot, but then the brown ones kind of blend in with the trees a little bit. He blends in with the rocks, so they kind of would have some camouflage, which is realistic. But it's not like they either stand out or they're invisible and hard to see. So I think I'm gonna go on the other side of the glass and we can take a look at what it looks like from outside as well. Now I'm just gonna escape this way. Let's actually go this way then. Get out. Alright, and obviously this side of the wall looks very bad right now. But I think we're gonna have another habitat here maybe, or some kind of something that's not a wall. But we'll see. But I think this looks very good, especially because you can see them like eating. Oh, they're coming right up. Oh, I love them so much. They're so cute. They keep looking at me though. I want to get like a better view of them. But yeah, I know this view is not the greatest because of the tree, but that's kind of the point, is some privacy for them, and it's like you're just getting a glimpse right into their jungle home, you know. Same with this window. You have a good view kind of that way. Obviously straight back this way, it's hard to see. And then this is the water view. I think this one is my favorite, to be honest. You can see right into their cave. You can see if they go swimming. And then behind the sugarcane, you can kind of see if they're eating in the tire swing. So yeah, I think that's the best one. I do wish that I can get this glass a little bit better, because that's really annoying. It looks good if it's one layer, but if you do more than one, it gets these streaks, so you can still see kind of. Hopefully on YouTube it looks alright too. But that's why I spend a lot of time in the habitat with them, so you can kind of get a better view that way. It looks like they're also kind of pathfinding here, but I know they can't get out there, because that's like 1.5 blocks at least. I think it's actually 2 blocks. So yeah, this habitat is pretty much done. Just got to do some cleanup, and I might do some finishing touches at some point. I do kind of want to clean this up because I don't really like the orange with this, but in general, unless you look at that one, you can't see it. I might add just another log, but I might also just chisel in bits to make it show up on top, so we'll see. But yeah, so I was trying to be pretty efficient with this habitat, get it done, collect everything that we needed. And I did a pretty good job. I forgot a couple things, but I really haven't spent that much time on this episode yet because I'm getting better at, you know, organizing a little bit. So I do want to try to work on some other projects around our zoo. that aren't exactly focused on a habitat. So what I want to do is try to extend this pathway to see if it looks good with it being bigger. And I also want to work on our front walls so we can try to get the villagers in soon. So over here, we've got our main entrance that needs some work, and then I started building this perimeter wall. Also, I had to put these cobblestone here because the llamas keep trying to get out. Which some of these animals seem to get out, but I've never seen any of them except for the llamas actually jump up on here and try to get out over the fence, so I don't know. Anyway, the other thing I want to work on, these elytra in 1.12 don't activate as easily as the newer version, so I keep just taking fall damage, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm going to try to extend this wall and work on that a bit. I don't know that I want to do another time lapse because I already did one, so I guess I'll see what I do in editing. I might just record it as being able to make a time lapse, and I'll decide later. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying this so far. I'm going to get working on some of these projects, and I will at least give you an update of what the zoo's looking like once it's done. Alright everyone, so I decided not to do another time lapse, at least for right now, but I was working on our path, and so it's right behind me. This is what the old paths look like all through the zoo, and I decided to try these river stones and the mossy river stones. And so I'm going to turn around real quick and we're going to take a look at what I've done so far. Alright, so from the house, from the door, this is what we would see. And so it comes out, as you can see, the moss is kind of strewn in. I've done up to here with our jaguars, and then I did a whole bunch going this way. So obviously I didn't go over there yet, but I've done all the way down towards our new habitat here with the tapirs. So this is kind of what it looks like going in. That's what it looks like up there. I really like how this looks going up the stairs like that. I will need to sleep really quick, so let me do that. Now, one of the things is because I literally just put a layer on top of everything, so I can't put any blocks or like my bed on top of it. So it's a little bit unfortunate in that way. But for the most part, I don't plan on sleeping out here. It's just when I do clips and stuff, I tend to just sleep right away. And also, an update, these guys have still stayed in here the whole time, and they actually sleep pretty cute. I don't think I've seen them sleep yet. But yeah, so I wanted to give a quick update. I think I need to smooth that out a little bit more. Let's see. Also, my right click button seems to click twice sometimes, and I don't know if it's a battery thing or if I'm like messing up my mouse, if I've been using it for too long or click too hard or something. I don't know. But this is what we're looking like. Also, I left this gap here. I'm probably gonna make it a little bit smaller. But what I wanted to try to do was add some sort of like planter thing here, or like, I'm not exactly sure, but maybe just some leaves or some bushes or something like that to make a little nature feature over here, because this is like the widest area around here, so I figured do that. And I've been also thinking for that area and just our path in general of maybe having some type of like border block, because with the chisel and bits, like let's just try stone for example. So if we do like a line, let's see, I was trying to see if there's a place. I kind of wanted it to be, stone is going to be too close I think to the similar thing. So maybe like something wood would work. Let's see. But I'm thinking to have like sort of like a border. It might actually be easier if I just do like single bits, but that's going to be very tedious. But what I was planning to do is have it like raised up one, and either right here or possibly one out like this. But I think maybe some type of wood might be the best. But that'll give it a little bit of like definition and depth and stuff, and kind of block it out. And this is another place I might put like a flower or some kind of bush or something. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think about the path in general, what you think about the outline idea. I'm going to get rid of these. We'll do that off camera. So yeah, I might do a little bit more of this, but I also want to get some work on the wall done. So I'm just going to keep getting stuff done, and I will show you guys some more progress. Okay, so I took a break from our little path over there at the zoo, and I'm actually working on our wall. And this probably does not look like much right now, at least over here. But yeah, it's actually taken quite a lot of time to get this all sorted out. So I had to kind of shape back this hill. I actually could have went over it, I think, but I didn't want the wall to have to be super steep in parts, so I kind of just like made it a little bit more gentle so it'd be easier to build this. This might change a little bit once I actually get everything more in here, but basically this is where I have it so far. I've built up this side because it was a very steep hill over here as well. So yeah, I've worked on this side quite a bit, and let's see, we can look at the map. So I made it wrap around this little pond here. I'm thinking I might try to put turtles over here, and I want to try to build my zoo more towards this way so that we can kind of get stuff more connected, because I don't want to build a habitat over here and it'll be all by itself since everything else is over here. But yeah, so the plan is I'm gonna try to go up that hill and around, and then I think I'm gonna cut off before this hill here. So we're gonna go like out a little bit and then back, and the plan is to maybe go around these two ponds here and then back over here, and we'll meet up with this one, this side of the wall here. And I know what you're thinking probably is that this is quite large, because right now these are the habitats that we have, and this is a lot of space. But there are a lot of animals in this pack, and I think some of my habitats are kind of small, so I want to try to start making them more appropriate and bigger, like our bison one over here, and the moose one is also pretty big. So I just figure I'll make it pretty big for now, just in case, and then that also gives us some bodies of water to work with, because I don't want to have to mine all those out to have any aquatic animals. And just to show you, this is kind of the basic shape around this pond or lake that I've built so far. Obviously this is just the inside wall. We're going to have the second one that I kind of outlined over there. But yeah, so that's what it's starting to look like over here. And actually this part is kind of steep, so I may end up changing that, and I will fill this in, I think. So it might change a little bit, but I just sort of wanted to get like the main area sort of planned out so that I know what I'm doing. So yeah, and I know that right now this is a bit ambitious. I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to be able to fill this whole park, but I'd rather just do the wall once and then have it all set up and not have to expand if I can help it. But yeah, there is, the Zawa mod is updating, so when that happens I might just start a new zoo, because that one's going to be releasing for newer versions of Minecraft, which I kind of like better, but we'll see. The mod does look really cool as well, and I think they're optimizing it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because I love this zoo and I don't want to just end the series. Especially because we do have quite a few more animals, and I have a lot of plans that I wanted to make happen. But yeah, so I know I didn't get quite a ton done on this episode, but I think this is where we're going to leave off this time. I might try to work on some of this stuff off camera and just get a little more progress before the next episode. But this stuff takes a while, and it's not really stuff I can show on camera because it's a little bit difficult to work on. Because obviously this is all I would be doing. I just kind of rotate between these three blocks, and I'm not really sure that that's what anybody wants to see, so it's much better just to see the finished product. But yeah, so I'll have to get working on that and show you guys a bit more next time. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.